Hey everybody, Terry Barr here for Dane by Local, and so happy to bring you another edition of Lifestyles. And this time we have one of the Dane by Local members, State Line Distillery in Madison, and John Malezova. John, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, I have a lot of questions for you, sir.
Okay, let's do it.
State Line Distillery is 6 years old. And I
Yeah,
guess I'm just wondering, how does that feel when you had this dream back in 2017 or before
yeah.
to make this business your reality?
That's a great question, Terry. I mean, I think, the hustle and bustle of every day doesn't afford us a lot of time to slow down and think, but actually, your timing of this is really poignant, I guess. Over Thanksgiving weekend, I was just chatting about this with my partner Deanna, just kind of reflecting upon and giving thanks about where we've come as a business, how much we've the winding turns that kind of got us to the point of where we are, and just some days it feels surreal. Some days it feels like I snap my fingers and my 6-month-old, who's now 6.5, is there, and it's an amazing to think about the journey of where we started and where we are, and I'm just so grateful to be here and be part of the community that's all around us.
Oh, and I can still tell that this means so much to you. Sometimes people's eyes go a little dull when they talk about work. You still have that like excitement in your voice. Your eyes are all bright and shiny about it. So that's really fun to see.
Yeah, I love this. I love what I do. It's an amazing thing.
I'm going to be asking you more about that too. But what I want to ask you first, you've got some different things in your background before you changed to do what you're doing now. How
Yeah.
did how did any of that help you get to where you are, or just did you just say, I'm out of this. I want to do this distillery instead?
No, I mean, you know, I think everyone's journey is winding. It's always a winding path to end up where
Yes.
we are in any given moment. Um, the short version here is my grandfather got me into home brewing when I was, we'll call it 21-ish. And I, I never thought of it as a career, but because of my biology background, I fell in love with kind of the whole idea of fermentation science.
Yeah.
And it led me to working in a lab at the University of Minnesota. And I was enjoying that, but my real excitement in that time was working with undergraduates. So that's how I ended up in higher education
Wow.
here in Madison, working at Edgewood College. And I think when when I really reflect upon kind of the path that, when I finally jumped off the cliff and moved to Scotland to study all this stuff, um, I hadn't really realized how much higher education got me ready to run an organization
Uh,
in terms of thinking about how do you create culture, how do you bring people in to have a voice at the organization,
yeah.
to kind of think about this in a different way, not just about producing spirits, which is a primary thing that we do, but we also need to be strong members of our community. We need to be
Mm.
thinking about how do we create an environment that's inclusive and welcoming and educational for people. So there's all these things in my background and my path that have led to I think creating a workplace that's vibrant and exciting for the people that are here.
Oh, I
And
bet.
I try to empower people around me to do their work and hire people that are better at what they do in their position than I ever would be, and then get the heck out of their way.
Oh,
And so yeah, all these things add up to a lifetime of experience that has served me well, I think.
obviously, you're the dream boss for everyone, it
I
sounds like.
don't know about that, but I try.
I love it. I love it. That I think is really everybody's goal when they do go to work. If they're going to work for somebody, they want that somebody to be many of those things that you just talked about. So that's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah. Um, what about your logo? There's a thing in the middle that says
Mm,
Spirits Awakened. What
yeah.
does that mean for you?
That for me, it is staying true to kind of our ideal ideals in a way that we produce spirits, right? So we're trying to do everything we can here in an elevated way, right? And so we're taking this idea of making spirits and we're tying it directly to the land by working with farmers from the Driftless region. We're trying to do things all the way from the spirit side through the entire process. So when you come and have a cocktail in the cocktail lounge, we're using fresh juice, whole ingredients to kind of put all this together in a way that takes the whole experience up. So that's really where the Spirits Awakened came from.
I love it. That is a great logo with that
Thank
in the
you.
middle. That's like perfect. Okay, so it's the holiday season and
It is.
shopping well underway. Why should people actually consider shopping at what I'm going to call your local distillery? Obviously, people can order online from anywhere in the
Yeah,
world, but
yeah.
why now for the holidays or maybe anytime?
Yeah, well, I think it's more and more important to know where when you're buying something where it comes from.
Yay, yes.
And I think that we spend a lot of time and energy doing that in terms of how we're crafting our spirits. So, when I got into this, it was always the dream that we would be working directly with farmers.
Mm,
And that's a hard thing to do when you don't know how much you're going to produce. So you can't tell someone, I need X amount of pounds of grain and all these things. But as we matured as a company, more and more opportunities like that started to kind of come together. And we were able to create a really, I guess, strong tie directly to all these different other areas in Wisconsin that are producing amazing things and are
yeah.
artisans in their own craft. And so, to me, when you're buying, you could buy any bottle of gin or coffee liqueur or vodka, but when you're purchasing a state line distillery product,
Mhm.
you're connecting directly all of those chains all the way up that we can in supporting kind of the rich agricultural history of this state and
Yeah.
all the people that live and work here. So it's to me it's a way that you can celebrate everything that we're doing and also support it fiscally and say this actually matters to be able to buy locally.
Absolutely. Oh, what about Dane by Local? Do you feel like the organization is supporting you? Are you proud to be a member of Dane by Local?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Dame by Local does a fantastic job of kind of staying true to their ideals and principles and saying, hey, there's amazing things happening here and we want to talk about them. We want to showcase them and we want to be part of kind of bringing everybody up, which is so important. And it's a wonderful organization.
Oh, good, good. I've read about you believing in supporting others as well, other organizations. You've mentioned the community a couple of times.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you as a local business?
Well, I think, first and foremost, we live and work in the communities, and so they're connected, right? I mean, there is no one or the other. It is all the same. And so, in my mind, what makes a community strong is when people and businesses are coming together to say, hey, this is something special, and we need to identify how we can uh, bring everybody up and how we can bring everybody in and create something that's better than one business or better than one person. It's about community as a whole. So I think we spend a lot of time thinking about our quarterly fundraisers, our what are we who are we um, identifying to be great partners who are doing great work and that we can help support and raise up some knowledge around them and provide some monetary support and so that we're all kind of winning at that point.
Yeah. Everyone should be a winner. That is the greatest community.
That's right.
Absolutely. Wow. What is the best way for people to kind of track State Line Distillery, to be able to learn more, to put in an order for some items?
Yeah.
Where are you? Where can we find you?
Yeah, so I mean, probably, Instagram, the social media, Instagram, Facebook, we have a very strong presence on. We have a website, statelinedistillery.com, that actually has a shop. So you can order spirits to be picked up here if you live in Wisconsin. And actually, we just launched an e-commerce side of that now you can ship spirits to about 38 states. So if you used to live here or you do live here and say, I gotta share some of Wisconsin with my relatives or friends in other areas of the country,
Yeah.
you can do that. And then of course we have an events website, or within our website, it's embedded a calendar and things like that.
Excellent. And I know you have so much going on, so that's terrific. What is
Yeah.
the website again?
Statelinedistillery.com.
Perfect. Now, finally, John, I guess I have this kind of bigger question for you.
Yeah.
What do you want people to maybe feel or tell others about their experience with you and with State Line Distillery?
Hmm. That is a big question, right? I mean, I
Yeah.
think um, I want everybody that interacts with us, whether it's in the cocktail lounge or with a friend at home or from when they were at a bottling session here. I want people to come away feeling like they have a place here.
Hmm.
I think first and foremost, and that this is a place for everyone. And we want to meet people where they are. So we have a very, what I would call a high-end, cocktail experience, sort of a lounge. But I always want that to feel inviting and fun and exciting and not pretentious or we know more than you. So I think we talk a lot about how do we educate in a fun way for people. And so, when I think about feeling, I think about I want someone to walk in and just this feels like a second home to them,
Uh,
and that they really know that the people behind the bar, the people back in working in production put their heart and soul into what we do, and that we're passionate. And I hope that comes through, and people get passionate about us, saying, yes, this is a Wisconsin company that's doing things the right way.
that is so good. John, is there anything that you would like to add that I didn't ask you?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for the
Yeah.
opportunity to speak with you. I mean, I'll give a perk or a plug on like our December deals and things like that, if that's appropriate.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so we've
Plug
got
away.
we've got a few things coming up.
Okay.
So we've got a gift card promo that's buy $50 worth and get $10 for free, things like that. So 120, 150, 30. So we've kind of got some built-in things like that. And then I would say, keep an eye out for some of our upcoming parties. New Year's Eve, we have a party on Saturday, December 9th. We have an ugly sweater party, which we
Oh,
do.
yay.
That's 20% off of all bottles, and you build your own gift sets. And it's kind of as part of the Walking in the Willy Wonderland Shop Small event. So a couple things to just look out for as we're going into December. Oh, and the last thing I'll plug is that starting December 1st is our month-long Cheers for Charity. So we're
Uh,
partnered up with 25 amazing places all around the city that have state line cocktails, all of it raising money for an entire month, and it's just going to be a fantastic event. So not any one day, but there's stuff going on every single day of the month.
yeah.
You can kind of jump in where you want.
That is terrific because that way people really can find you wherever they happen to be
That's
at
right.
any given time. That's beautiful. Wow. Well, John, congratulations and thanks for talking with me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All
everybody
right.
again, John Malezeva with the State Line Distillery, and what a great local business. I'm Terry Barr, and thanks everybody for watching.